There we go.
Can you hear me okay without the microphone? No? Just don't ask me to sing. I want to welcome you all today. I am Julie Moss. I am your councilwoman for Ward 4. And I appreciate the turnout. I know we've got some people from other wards, so welcome. This is for anybody that wanted to come. So I appreciate that. I did want to let you know that if you haven't signed in, I have a sign-up sheet over here, and then I tried to pass out, and hopefully I got to everyone. If not, I've got some up here. This is just a form for information, so if you don't get all your questions asked, or you get home and you think of something else, or different things you'd like to see the next time that we meet. And if you take it home, you can either drop it off at the community center here or down at City Hall. I will get those and go through them, and then I will share those with Mr. Freed, our city manager, and our mayor. The other thing that I have is the business card. One of the things I got asked when campaigning was, will we ever see you, and how would we get in touch with you? So I do have a separate mobile number that is for the residents to contact me. So of course you can call, leave a message, you can text me, or you can email me. Texting is probably the quickest, or leaving a message, just because if I'm in meetings and stuff, at least I see those pop up on my phone. So make sure you get a card, and if you think a neighbor needs one, I've got plenty of these, so just let me know if they run out over there. Then I wanted to say a couple of thank yous, starting with Stephen Bram and his staff. There is in the back, wave your hand, Stephen. He's the one that takes care of our community center here and oversees all the events and gets everything planned, and so appreciative of his team getting this ready for us today. Also wanted to thank George Snyder and his wife from Called Coffee. Where are they? I saw them all ago. Thank you for bringing the coffee for everyone. And then, where is my Twisted Snow? There he is. Mary's brother. They own Twisted Snow in Ward 4, and they put some popcorn samples in the back. And I tell you, if you've never been, you gotta go. They've got incredible ice cream and Dole Whip and all of that great stuff. So it's on Greenbrier Deer Road. I can't think what that shopping center's called. Greenbrier. Well, there we go. I guess when you live here long enough, you just kind of bypass, you just know it's there. You don't look at those. So anyway, thank you so much for doing that. I do have a few introductions. We've got some city council here. The mayor is on her way. And talking about city council, I'll just introduce right now, the one that just walked in is Councilwoman Joe Harrington from Ward 3. Thank you for being here. And then Councilman Ward 4, we've got Lewis Downing here. I don't see Ms. Tolson. I wasn't sure if she was going to be able to make it. And the mayor will be here shortly. She was coming from Jacksonville. Then I want to introduce who I have here from the city staff, who will be doing most of the answering of questions, because it's the stuff that they deal with day in and day out. So first I'd like to introduce our new city manager, Mr. Ken Free. Our Director of Public Works, David Arnett. And then our wonderful Director of Public Relations, Jackson Hodges. He always puts all the notices and stuff up for us and covers everything. And for those that couldn't come today, you know, this is Facebook Live and people can go back and watch it again too, which is really nice. So we thank you for doing that. We have several agenda items. I tried to get some of the main topics that I know everybody always asks questions about. And so there will be different people that will cover those, and when those topics are being discussed, after they've spoken, if you have questions about it, we'll address those. And once we get to the end, I want to make sure that I hear from you as far as, and you could be thinking about it now, development you would like to see in Ward 4, and development you'd like to see within the city itself. So definitely be thinking about that. If you don't know of anything until later, that's what those sheets are for. So don't worry if you didn't get it covered today. The topics we are going to discuss are going to be everything from customer service, the different changes that have been going on down at City Hall, road repair, roads in general. I know that's a hot topic for everybody. Litter, which is another hot topic. Yes. Of course, my pages are sticking together. Okay, and then garbage pickup, leaf pickup, which is always an issue, I know, and that's something we strive to make better every year, but it is one of those things that is always kind of the thorn in the side, if you will. Curbside work, order process. So we've got a process online, and Jackson will go through that of how you can put in a work order for things that you need done in your neighborhoods. Update on homeless and stray animals. I know that is a very hot topic for everybody. We'll go over upcoming events, and then we will also go over what you all would like to see developed in Ward 4 and in Anniston in general. So I would like to start with Mr. Freed. Come right on in, Ms. Robinson. You can come in. Right, consider. So I'm going to turn it over to our new city manager, Ken Freed.
Thanks, ma'am. I also did want to recognize Mr. Fraser Burrows from our Parks and Recreation Division.
Thank you.
He's in charge of this wonderful facility and all the other facilities that we have. So big thanks for him being here today too. I think I talk pretty loud. Everybody can hear me okay? Yeah. First thing I want to talk about is I've been on the job 4 months now. When I came into the position, one of the things I always pride myself on is making sure we have good customer service. To me, that's where everything starts at. If you call somebody and you had bad customer service, usually everything else that happens after that gets worse and worse. So some of the things we did is used to you would call into the city hall and you could not talk to a person. It would be a phone tree, press 6 for this, press 3 for that, and by the time you got to where you were needing, you forgot what you called about. So we went in and made some changes to that. So now usually Monday through Friday you get an actual person to talk to. We also have a new way of tracking when you call in, and it's not illegal recordings or anything like that. But what we do is we already had a work order system for anything that needed to be repaired. But if you just called in saying my light was out or I have a question about this, if that person was not there, it would maybe go to their voicemail, they may get an email, but there wasn't a set system in place. So what we have now is a customer service tracking system. So every call that comes through is logged in, and then it's assigned to who it needs to go to. Before it can be closed out, it has to show what action was taken on it. So now we're tracking it from the time your call comes in until your call is closed. The other thing it provides me and the other directors is a tracking system to, 1, see what type of complaints we're getting, 2, see how fast our customer service is, how fast are we closing out these calls, and 3, tracking how many times this customer has had to call us for this one issue. So we've got that in place now. We're still, every now and then there'll be some glitches to it, but from what I've got and the feedback I've got, it's a lot better than what we had before. So that's one of the key things is getting the customer service back where we needed it. Talking about roads, who here needs a road repaired? Go ahead. Well, that's not too bad. I was expecting everybody to have a hand up. What we've done is there was a study about 4 or 5 years ago that was completed on all the roads in Anniston, McClellan, anything that is in the city limits now. The system went in and they drove down every road, used computer systems, all kinds of different technology to determine what grade level the roads were, with 1 being the best, 5 being the worst. Most of our roads in the cities are 3, 4s, and 5s, which, that's, if you drove around here some, you notice that. So what we've done now, the new council members and everything that we have on board, the new mayor, and really, this is where I like to highlight too. It's really a fresh new start for Anniston. And the reason I say that is our mayor is in our first term as elected. All of our city council are within their first term as elected city council members. I got a new economic developer director. I got a new police chief. Fire chief's been here for about 8 months with us. I've been here 4 months. So we have a lot of fresh ideas, fresh energy that's being put into the city right now. So it's really an exciting time to be a part of this. And you just being here today showing that you're a part of it too. So thank y'all for coming out here because that's where it starts. If you don't let us know there's issues, like if you got a pothole on your road, things of that nature, and you don't call us and let us know, we don't always know about it. We're out and about, we're riding, we're things like that, but we might not be, we might not see the pothole. It might be raining that day and it's full of water or something. So if you got issues, that's what we need from the community is let us know. Because as soon as you let us know, this gentleman right here and his team, he tries to see how fast he can fix it. So it's like a little game me and him play now. But hey, I got these 3 things, and usually he's like by the end of the day he's already corrected all 3 things, and I'm having to look for new stuff on to do. But like I said, to me it's a lot of energy we got going on. I know we're going to talk about several different subjects today. And I think that's the 2 I had right now, and I know I'm talking a little bit more. Next thing we're going to talk about is litter.
Yeah.
You want me to say we on this one?
Yes, one of my pet peeves, litter. This is not just an Anniston issue by any stretch of the imagination. It's not just a county issue, state issue. It is kind of across the board. But I look at it as people not respecting where they live. And if you are going to a fast food restaurant, there are trash cans there. You stop at a gas station, there's trash cans there. Or you take it home. Throwing it out is just, it's a mess. And so we do have a very small crew, and not all the time, based out of the roommate program, yes, that come and pick up, and we have one officer that can be with them. So of course, as soon as Chief Paris, our new chief of the police department, I immediately went to him and said, okay, I got 3 roads for you. So my roads, just so you know, that I was focusing on first was Greenbrier from Quintard all the way out to DeArmonville Road, Coleman Road, so from 431 all the way to Greenbrier, and then Henry Road. Because I also chose those, while those roads are in Ward 4, they are traveled by everybody. So of course I hear too, well, it's not us that are doing everything. No, but it's gonna take all of us to help clean it up. And I'm not sure who the wonderful lady was. I didn't get a chance to stop. But on Greenbrier Road, the cemetery right before you go to the Catholic Church, she was out there with a garbage can and picking. Was that who it was? Okay, well, I need to talk with her because that was on my list to get out there and do, and she did, and of course it's night and day. So, it's things like that that we need, and I believe, Councilman Harrington, you're working with your ward and the churches and trying to do cleanup days. Is that correct?
First Saturday in this coming month, from 8 to 11.
Okay.
That's the entire ward.
So I'm thinking we can't let them outdo us. So we're gonna have to figure out how we can all get some help and work together on doing that. If you happen to live on a road that's a main road and you have trash that gets thrown in and it's technically the right of way, if you would, help us to clean that up. I am first of all sorry that it's landing in front of your houses and stuff, but if you can help us by cleaning that up. Keep me notified of other areas or dangerous things that have been thrown. We need to remember too with trash to make sure people are tying their trash up in bags, because if it's a windy day and that truck is picking up those trash cans, it's gonna be blown all over the place. People who have trucks tying their stuff down. I just saw a red trash can that just got run over, and I thought, wow, trash cans are expensive. So, they went about $45 with that, like an office trash can. Not putting loose paper and cups in the back of your your Jeeps and trucks and things. Those are the types of things that are certainly gonna help. I've not had a chance to talk to Jackson yet, but one of the things I wanted to work on was some type of litter campaign. Aging myself, but if you remember in the 70s, we had the Pitch In campaign, which was a national campaign, and it started with children in schools. Because children are very good about getting their parents to pay attention and to do things when they've been taught that that's the right thing to do and what they should do, and they get the parents motivated. So I'd like to try to work with Jackson and Mr. Free and the mayor and the rest of the council for us to try to figure out a campaign that we can do and for people to start taking pride in their city. And I'm hoping that some of the things that we're doing and that Public Works has been doing recently, that you're seeing some of those cleanup efforts that we have going on, whether it's trash, it's drainage, or blight. Yes, ma'am.
One day, well, for about a week, on Chakalaka, there was a dead deer. And finally I called and somebody, like that day, they went out and got the dead. I appreciated that.
Okay.
You know, and it was a large animal.
Yes.
But somebody had pushed it off to the side of the road, but you could see it from.
Right. Well, thank you. And that's what we need to know.
That's what we need to do, because as soon as I called, like, within an hour or so, I drove out that way and there, you know, it was gone.
Yes. Well, thank you. And that's what Mr. Free was stating is if we don't know about it, because we are out here. I'm driving around, I'm looking at roads and trash and doing all that as well. But we're not going to see everything that happens. And of course, that's a hazard to have that in the road, especially in Chakalaka. So thank you. Yes, sir.
Mr. Free has a very good example of things that need to be done and how we can get it done, okay? But there's another issue you can add to this. We have a lot of patrols in the area, okay? And I know they see the stuff as the public sees the stuff. So why isn't it that somebody that's in the patrol division or on patrol reporting appropriately up the channel where it can be taken care of? Because you can go bypass a certain item 2 or 3 times and it's still there. It could be there the second day, it could be there the third day. When you talk about trash, how are you gonna change people's attitude? That's the biggest issue. It's not the issue of cleaning it up, it's how do you change attitudes and how do you change the mindset? The generation today, excuse me, could care less. Could care less.
And that goes back to the
It's
respect.
not old guys go out there and clean that trash up.
Yes. Well, thank you. And I do think that, thank you, Mayor, so sorry. That's okay. I do think it's going to take some sitting down and brainstorming of the right way to address that. But it's going to take more than just the workers at City Hall and the council and mayor. It's going to take everybody's participation to help with that. So we will continue to work on it, but I did want you to know that I have those 3 roads being focused on as the inmate crew is available. So it's going to take a little time, and you know, we're still trying to figure things out and address some of these issues. But if you do see something like that deer and stuff, please report that immediately so it can be taken care of. Yes, sir.
My name's Chris Waddell, and my wife Cheryl and I really saw the signs and thought we were going to the karate lesson in there. But
It depends on how the meeting goes.
Yeah.
But since you bring it up,
Yes, sir.
what we hear often in meetings like this, and in this meeting, is it's our fault, our attitude, and we should pick up the trash. It's what the citizens should do. And we got 2 inmates, and the whole city beautification plan relies on 2 inmates to go around, and that's not it. And don't we need, Mayor, a citywide beautification project, maybe along the lines of the Calhoun County beautification project, gives out awards for good work. It is not clear why, since we moved the trash pickup to a private agency, and the Ms. Hunnet's department does not have to pick up the bags and the leaves anymore, what are they doing? And why can't we organize the city in such a way that it's not just the individual citizen that falls on our shoulders, but it's a citywide project?
You're right, it is, and as far as the leaves, and I guess I'm jumping ahead just a little bit,
The
but
city is picking up the leaves, so they got the
Yeah.
Yes.
bagged up and they'll come around with the vacuum. The city
so,
will.
so 121 has, they're the ones that are first and foremost responsible for picking up leaves. They must be bagged
They must be bagged.
for them to pick them up. Because this is an issue and not everyone can do that, Mr. Arnett does send his crews out to vacuum up leaves in areas. I just dealt with this in a couple of areas, but also if somebody's parked on the street or you've got cars on the street and the leaves are still there, it's because the trucks can't get to it. And there is no schedule for that. It's just sent randomly out when they are available to do that. Leaves are never going to be 100% making everybody happy. It's just unfortunately not. It's the unfortunateness of all the wonderful trees we have here and the beautiful leaves that we have that creates this issue. But I don't know, David, if you have anything to add to that or...
I have some things. First of all, forgive me for my hair. I've been in a hat all day. I don't, trust me, that I don't need. Mr. Waddell,
How are you?
anybody in the room, this man has kept me on my toes with leaves. I have answered more emails, more phone calls, Mr. Waddell, than anyone. Avanti knows your number by heart. Jackson, could you put Avanti's information up on the screen for me? So, first of all, I'm Dave. I'm the Public Works Director. You almost will never talk to me. You will talk to Avanti Amons. She is our administrative assistant, but she runs this stuff. I mean, she's the one that gets on the phone. She gets your work order, your service request. She calls you back. She keeps informed. She is the one that organizes all this, right? Ma'am with the deer. You passed by, what, 2-3 days? You made a phone call?
Almost a week.
Yes, ma'am. You made a phone call, and how long was it there?
Within an hour, they came and got it.
That's Avanti
But I
Amons.
mean, how many other people drove by that deer?
I-
Decided to run it?
But believe me, I understand. But that is the power of Avanti Amons. You call her, you text her, she will get somebody out there. She runs the street department like nobody's business, right? She gets those guys, she gets them home. So if you have a problem, that number, that email, however you can get in touch with her is the best option, okay? Are y'all laughing at me or the small lettering? I'm getting a little nervous. I was making sure nothing was wrong.
We'll leave it up there afterwards so people can get it at the end.
So, let's explain the difference between litter, trash, and bulk pickup. Anybody don't know the difference between those three, right? Anyone?
Same again?
Litter, trash, and bulk pickup. Anybody think those are the same things?
No.
Everybody know those are three very different things. So, when you call Avanti and you say you have trash in your yard, household trash, bulk trash, or litter, she's going to need to know those things, right? Because if it's litter, we're going to call our litter guys and go, hey, we've got a report of this. Public Works does not pick up litter. We have the big trucks. That's what we pick up. We pick up bulk. We pick up branches. We still pick up all of your debris, right? Your organic debris. 121 now picks up your bulk trash. Not trash in the trash, but don't put your trash in the trash bag out by the curb. First of all, then it becomes litter. Second of all, nobody's gonna pick that up. That goes in your big cart, right? Also, one complaint we've had over time is the big arm takes your big trash bucket. Paper flew everywhere. They didn't do it right.
Or they put it back in the street.
Yes, ma'am. That's unfortunate. It's the drivers. There's a lot of that. But so they dump it over. Paper goes everywhere. Technically, you should have a bag in your can and everything is bagged when it goes in that can. If you put loose trash in that can and it flies out, there is no recourse. You have to pick up your trash from the ground.
I've seen that, I would get out and pick it up.
Hey, and I will say this about 121, we did have a different vendor. 121 has done nothing but communicate. They've gone back, they have cameras in the trucks. They've sent us footage of any complaint that there's been. They have been upfront, honest, and communicative with us every bit. Leaves, loose leaves. As Ms. Moss said, if you have an obstruction by your leaf pile, I can't get my truck in there, right? We're going down the street, I'm sorry, I can't get those. It may take us 6 more weeks to come back around to get that leaf pile. We don't turn around. We keep going. Hold on. Yes, ma'am.
I just want to say that Louis and I live on Lake Shore, and there's not enough plastic bags in the world to contain those. And I want to thank you because I see the truck quite often. What I feel like is quite often. I think y'all do a great job.
We actually have a new truck that was in service this year. It's an all-in-one unit. We have one driver. He can do everything from the cockpit. Thank you to the administration, these guys, because I don't appropriate money, right? I just spend it.
You asked for it, though. You gotta ask for it.
No, I beg for it. I don't ask. I beg. I lost pride a long time ago. I beg.
I don't blame you.
But these folks, they're giving us resources we've never had. So these are the guys to applaud. We're just using the resources, right? We spend money. They're the ones that are actually giving us the tools. So we're actually looking at getting another one of those trucks because it's been the most efficient way. Look, we've been doing the trailer and it's okay, but it takes a truck, takes one pickup truck, one dump truck, and the vacuum truck. That's about 6 people where we can put one guy in a truck and do it. Now that they don't pick up trash, what are they doing?
Yeah.
They're sitting at Hardee's. Right? They're grabbing a burger. Burger King, Jack's. Yes. They got a whole year off of doing nothing. No. They are out picking up illegal dump piles all over the city. My trucks are running 8-10 hours a day picking up dump trash. You see it in the right of way, it's not in front of somebody's house, that's my guys out there picking it up. That's not 121. You miss a pickup. Maybe you've had bag leaves out. Hey, 121 hasn't picked it up. We call 121, they can't get to it. My guys are gonna get to it before they do because we're a team, right? My guys, 121, that's what we do. If they can't get to it in an expeditious time, I'm gonna send my guys to go do it. So they're doing things.
I disagree with you.
I knew you would.
It does not fit the reality. What does work is we call 121 ourselves.
Yes.
And I called you. You sent me a message that said, no, you gotta call 121, and you did not say you were gonna send your own city crew out.
No, once you contact 121, we contact them.
Yep.
So
Didn't happen that way.
it may not have been in that case.
Eventually, they came.
Okay. Eventually. How long?
3 weeks.
Took 3 weeks?
3 weeks.
Then why didn't you call us? You
Because
know our email by
because
heart.
when I called you, you said call 121.
But if it had missed more than a week,
I'm sorry.
call him. He'll yell at me.
What you're saying here
We
is
make
not
make
what you
errors.
did.
We do make errors, and I think that those are lessons that we can learn from for sure. So
Absolutely.
if you do not get a response within a week, please follow up with us. I know that feels inconvenient to you all, but there's so many levels to this that sometimes there's an error that is made. So Miss Councilwoman Moss is extremely accessible. I am as well. So if we make an error, please just let us know, and we'll do our best to correct it.
So, to recap, if you have an issue, any issue, Mr. Waddell, any issue, call Miss Amons. Okay? If it's been a week, more than a week with a 121 issue, call her and let her know it's been more than a week. Okay? Yes, your first contact is 121. That's their job, that's what we pay them to do. If they haven't done their job within a week, you call us. We'll take care of it. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, my story is different because I walk in our subdivision, and if I walk and I see bags, like if the truck is already gone, our pickup day is Thursday, I'll call, it's not even my bags.
Yes.
I'll call 121, and they always respond. If I go back the next day, they'll know.
Yes. All we've had is really good experience with them. We have had glitches, I ain't saying we're not, but we've had really good service.
I think a misunderstanding, sir, on the bulk stuff.
Yes.
Beside your trash can, is where you're supposed to lay is your bulk pickup
Yes.
stuff. I think there's a misunderstanding from, in the public's point of view, is that they expect the truck to come there, that area every time, you know, that, they're supposed to follow the pickup, the trash pickup truck. But that's not true. They continue that route and then it circles back around and then they come back again. So that bulk may stay there until they come back around again.
121 is required by contract to get that bulk on your day of trash service.
Correct, correct.
So if they don't, and it's been more, because they've missed my house, right? They missed my house 2 weeks in a row. I have it over here to the side, it's not a big deal, and personally, I was just waiting to see how long it'd take them to get it. So it took them 2 weeks.
Well, yeah, I need to call her Walter.
Yeah. She didn't answer my call. I won't lie. She said some words that I can't repeat to me. But yes, that's.
Because I see the statement stating that they progress and they're progressing until they come back around again. So it may not be that next following pickup, the following week. It may be when the route, but they continue on. You may not see them for about 2 weeks, maybe to come back into your area.
Well, what I'm saying is, if it doesn't get picked up on the day you're serving, you call 121. 7 days after that, if it's still there, you call Avanti. We will make sure it's picked up.
So why would I call her if I'm paying 121 money? Why would I call her?
Because we're a team.
And we oversee that contract, so we put a click mark of, hey, they're not doing good.
And they work for us.
Oh, yeah.
That's our contract. They work for
They
us.
work for us too.
Yes, but we tell them what to do. Yes, I do too.
Yeah.
So, but that's the point is that's after 7 days, it's not, then you get with us. That way we can take care of it.
Sir,
Ma'am,
I have an issue.
yes ma'am.
I have an issue with.
I do too, lots of them.
With the leaves having to be bagged. Now, I know that's 121, but to bag those leaves, can you imagine how many bags and how terrible that is for the environment? I
Yes,
mean,
ma'am.
when I found out that because I do a lot of recycling, I recycle everything. And, when I found out that we had to bag our leaves, I started looking and I'd see at least a dozen bags per house. Can you imagine? And then I actually stopped one of the 121 guys and I told him, I said, do we have to bag our leaves? He said, yeah. I said, that's terrible. I said, you go tell your supervisor that that's terrible for the environment. I'm sure he ran right back and told him.
Yes ma'am.
But the thing is, he said, I just picked up some leaves down this street. There were 21 bags.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, if we have, everybody in this room has a dozen bags or 21 bags, that's terrible for the environment. And we have to preserve our environment for our children and grandchildren.
Hey, I come from 2 science teachers as parents. Been through the ozone and the environment. I got you. But this administration didn't say you have to bag your bags, right?
No, I know.
That is for 121 to pick them up once a week.
Well,
You feel free to continue to do it the way you normally do because this administration says it was important for us to continue that public service to y'all. So they continue to pay us to go around and do it to where you don't have to bag them. Now, service is not as quick. They wait, that type of thing, but that's the way you get around that issue.
And there are, you can use the paper bags. They sell the big biodegradable paper bags for leaves. That's something maybe we can start a campaign next year to put those in community centers, make them available, things of that nature.
Okay, hold on one second. Sir, back there. I'm sorry.
I live on Flat Place, back up to Greenbrier.
Yes, sir.
I am the creator of the large pile of pine straw out there every evening.
Hey, people pay good money for pine
I've got
straw.
close to a half-acre pine straw and hardwoods that I try to take to the ground about every other year.
Yes, sir.
They've been very fair about picking it up since the new people came. That pile's been there probably 2 months now. I raked it out closer to the curb. Me and code enforcement had a deal years ago about whose side of the curb it went on it. I'm getting it closer to your side.
Okay.
I put about half a dozen lambs week before, and this week they get the lambs, leave the rest of it. And it's kind of aggravating, they're sitting there. Got the bucket.
I understand.
And it's mostly pine straw. I'm not a leaf guy.
Yeah. Perfectly understand. Call Ms. Heyman, send her an email. Let's see what we can do for you, okay? She will communicate back with you. Say what?
I've got problems in 3 wards, so she'll hear from me a lot. I got problems in all 3.
She has people she hears from. It's all.
So again, we know that this is always a constant issue, but there's also growing pains when you start working with a new group. So if everybody can just, take a deep breath, we're still working on it, and Miss Avanti is awesome. She is great, and she does get on things right away. Something I did want to point out too, that there are free county landfill days. And those are coming up April 18th, July 18th, and October 17th. It's free disposal for appliances, yard waste, shingles, scrap metal, carpet, remodeling waste, but there is a charge for household garbage and tires. So if you know you've got a project coming up or you're working on something, please take advantage of those free landfill days that are coming up thanks to the county. There is also a way to do a work order, and I'm going to have Jackson show you how to do that. So if you're one of those that prefers to get on a computer and do that, which I have done it, and you can use your phones as well to fill out the form, which goes to Avanti, and she gets right back to you and will email you back to say she has received that. And I have tested that. I have done that for a few things in the ward, for things that people did not ask me to do. I just noticed things. Or you can call her. So there are 2 ways. So if you're not computer savvy, you don't like computers, you don't want to do it on your phone, you can call her. But Jackson's going to show you where this form is online and how you can access that.
Hey everybody. So this is our website. What it looks like on a desktop. If you've ever visited on your phone, it looks just a little bit different because these menus collapse together. But if you've used it before to place work orders, we have it organized for business and construction, which that has permits and information, and then tourism and showcasing some of the things we have in the community. But this right here, if you live in the community, is a great easy button. It's right at the top of the website. It says citizen resources. And we have several ways of reporting things online. You can report code violations. You can put in work orders, as Councilwoman Moss was saying, to have things, a pothole filled or something picked up. And what we've done now, instead of listing all those individually, there's just one contact center, contact and assistance center. We just put this up and running yesterday afternoon, and it's very easy to use. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit if I can. There we go. So you'll go here, And this time now you can submit all kinds of things. So we've built this to where these will go to the email. I know it's a little up here, but it will go to the email of the correct staff person for what the issue is. So you got code violations, work orders, payment, youth sports information, zoning, animal control, employment information. You just pick your submission type, or if it doesn't fit any of those, you can put other. And then you just, describe your issue. You can upload a picture if you need to. You don't have to. Then just your name and address. And if we can contact you, and then you submit, and our team will be able to follow back with you also, as Mr. Free was saying, to keep track of everything and update you on your submission. But we also have ways of contacting Public Works and Code Enforcement on their individual pages directly, so if you happen to navigate there. But this is front and center, and is if you've ever used the work order portal or anything on our website, it's really simple and easy, and you can find it on here. And then we have our customer service number 2, those Mr. Free was saying, for any immediate needs. So that's pretty much it on that one. So
Thank you.
To change the subject, would the mayor and city manager, as you address the dump of rubber tires, truck tires, car tires that was scandalously reported in the Birmingham TV market about Anniston?
Gensco tires. So yes, this is out on the West Anniston. There are several dozens, hundreds, quite frankly, of tires out there. And we actually met with them, I want to say about a week or 2 ago, and we are currently ensuring that they are in proper fire code. We're going to give them about a month or so to make sure that they get those tires removed in case of a fire. Outside of that, we are working towards long-term solutions so that we're actively moving those tires at a quicker rate than what they are now. It is an issue, quite frankly, especially for the residents that live in that area, but it is something we're actively working on as we speak.
Why are they there to begin with?
Well, they've been there for 26 years. It's an industry. See, the issue with West Anniston, and to me, it's an overwhelming issue. You have an area that was built on foundries. You had industry out in that area, and then over time, residential neighborhoods came out in that area. So you're having to balance people who live there and people who work there, and that's one of the greatest issues that we're faced with in that area. Not the best answer, but it is the answer. It's the transparent answer.
It's a kick can in the road, that's what it is. For years.
It has been, for years. Absolutely, for years.
Because the bigger trail was built right by that. So it was seen and known. So you inherited a problem that somebody else kept pushing down.
I do believe that this could have been addressed several years ago. Absolutely.
Correct.
Yes, sir.
You just don't build 100 of tires in about a month.
Yes, sir. I agree.
I do think we have a city council now that is trying to address all of Anniston's problems, more than it has been in years.
I agree with that.
Yes, ma'am. That was actually what I was going to say is we didn't get to the situation we're in overnight. So we're not going to get out of it overnight. But I do believe that we've got a city council that is willing to step up and address the hard issues and tackle those things head on instead of moving them down the road. So like I said, that's just giving us a little time to, things are coming to us and we're realizing that they weren't what they were. So we're trying to get all the data and information so that we can do cleanup and we can do changes. So we are working very hard on that, and that's one thing that I'm very happy with this council, is that we are very supportive of each other's wards, coming to events together. We may not see eye to eye on everything, but we're respectful of each other, and we're asking for more information. We're asking the harder questions that haven't been done. So we will continue to push to make improvements. I'm going to keep this going. So like I said at the end, I want to talk to you about what kind of development you want to see in Ward 4 and within Anniston in general. But two more, I know, topics, and I guess Mr. Freed will tackle these for us, and that is the homeless and the stray animals.
All right, one thing I did want to highlight before I go to those two topics is sort of back to the customer service we were talking about. Businesses coming to do business in Anniston. When I first got here, it was made clear to me that sometimes Anniston is difficult to start a new business with, difficult to do business with. That's a part of our customer service change that we've implemented. Now, the way we have it set up is when you call in, if you're coming here to start a new business, we have one individual that you'll work with, Miss Shelby. She'll walk you through from start to finish. The other thing that how that helps is before you would go to see one person to get a permit, then you would have to go see someone else to get a license, and then you would have to get your inspections done, and then they would tell you need architect drawings. Then you got to go do all this. So now we got it as more of a concierge service, so she will walk you through exactly what you need to do. The second thing I want to announce, and this has not went live yet, so you're the first to hear about it, is we are going online for a lot of this work. You do not have to come starting, I think, next week, hopefully.
March 9th.
Yeah, March 9th or somewhere around there is the rollout date. You will not have to come to City Hall in person to get permits and to get things like that. You can do everything online. You can submit your documents online. They can review them online. Now they're going to still have to come out and do physical inspections. We ain't got that high tech yet, but that is a change, and it'll make things better where you don't actually have to come down to City Hall for every single thing you need. Animal control. Is there strays in Ward 4?
Yes.
Have y'all called it in?
Yes.
All right. Hopefully we can get some stuff done on it. So let me give you the history of what has occurred in the 4 months I've been here. Right when I came on was when we had the incident at the county shelter where they had to euthanize a lot of the animals because of an outbreak that they had there. After that, the county actually expanded and moved out to McClellan to a much better facility. I think Auburn built these runs and everything. It's really nice if you haven't been out there. They actually do boarding for people also. So the city of Anniston, we started out with 10 spots available there. And as of in January, we went up to 20 spots available. So we understand we've had a animal control problem for the past few years here that's just sort of got out of control. What we're doing to address that, we've hired an additional animal control officer. They started last Friday or 2 Fridays ago. So now we have 2 individuals dedicated to animal control. The other thing that I do is I work with our new police chief, and he gives me a report every Friday on where we're at on our number of kennels. Like I said, we have 20 kennels that are for the city of Anniston. And my direction to them is we need to keep those kennels full. Pick up as many as we can, and then when, it's usually about a week turnover. They're shipping a lot of the animals out up to like Virginia, places like that, where they're being adopted. So it is a system in place, so it is a turnover. They'll fill up and then they'll get back down low. But we're maintaining about 18 slots average that's full. As slots come available, what we're doing right now, we're having to target specific areas. One, the parks. We want it safe for the kids to be able to go out and play in a park and not have to worry about a dog. We're looking at bike trails, hiking trails, things of that nature. And then aggressive dogs. If you have aggressive dogs in your neighborhood, we need to know about that because that brings it up on a priority for us. Now, who here owns pets? How many people? Are they all spayed and neutered?
Yes.
Are they registered with the city?
Yes.
I don't think I have many hands came up on that one. Does everybody know there's a $15 pet tax? See, a lot of people don't know about that one. We hadn't been advertising a lot, and I don't think we've enforced it a lot. But that is out there, and like I said, right now a lot of people don't know about it, so we're going to do some campaign on that because the money we raise from that allows us to provide more animal control services and things of that nature with that plan. Yes, ma'am?
Is that tax per hour? I get my dog per shot. Is that being come out of the rabies vaccination, or is that just something separate?
Yeah, right now it's separate, and like the old days, you would have to come down to City Hall to do it and things of that nature. But like I said, after March the 9th, we're gonna have a lot of this stuff where you can just do it online.
Now, does the animal control work on weekends as well, because loose dogs do not just roam during the week?
Right. They will come out if it's an aggressive dog on weekends, but usually they do their main patrolling just Monday through Fridays. But if there is an aggressive dog, you call the police, and they'll make arrangements to make sure it's addressed.
So you call the police?
Yes, ma'am. The police are in charge of our animal control.
Is the fee annual?
Yes, ma'am. It's an
Is it
annual.
per pet annually?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, that's not very much to pay to have animal control.
Yeah, I mean, and we're paying for it now. This is just money that the city has never looked at or enforced in any way, but it's been on our books for years.
What is that fee go for as far as registering the city? What does that really go for?
Well, that would help us with our animal control. Like I said, we just added an additional animal control officer. So when we're funding new employees, that's, we're using your tax dollars. So people with pets would be the ones helping to pay for those additional services. Because some people could always argue, well, I don't own a pet, so why should my tax dollar pay for animal control?
And we also pay a pro rata share. With our new contractual agreement with the county, we were paying $100 per animal, which really wasn't fair to the county considering all the services that they were providing. So now if we have 20% of the kennels at the shelter, we're paying 20% of what it costs to take care of those animals. So we're going from $20,000 a year to $150,000, maybe $200,000 a year.
Just out of curiosity, if it's in a police jurisdiction, who's responsible? The county or the city?
So we provide animal control services in the police jurisdiction. However, that is not included in our pro rata share as far as taking care of the animals. And this was recently negotiated, by the way.
And for those police jurisdictions like Welborn area, Sachs area, any of the areas the police and fire cover, but the city is not in city limits.
And just for a number, I'm sorry to interrupt you again, so sorry, Mr. Freak. And just for number wise, because I feel like a lot of people don't realize how far our police jurisdiction extends. We have roughly over 21,000 constituents, but we serve 42,000 people. So almost double that's in our city limits.
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want a dog, nor do I want a cat, but we have cat problems. There's stray cats all over the place on my porch division. Using the bathrooms wherever they want to. And yet, a lot of problems with cats. And I understand that you don't pick up cats. What are we supposed to do with cats?
I'll have to check on that, ma'am. It's animal control, so they should pick up cats or dogs if they're
So they have
abusing.
a kitchen.
Oh, everybody, wow.
Yeah. So yeah, call those in, put a work order in, call the police on them, on the cats, and, I'll track that through that system and know what we're doing about it.
These aren't domestic.
Okay, if I can get everybody to be quiet a little bit so we can hear.
Domestic animals, but we have a real coyote problem where we live. And I don't want to leave my baby out in a fenced yard where the coyotes just jump over the fence. But I've been told that nobody seems to know who to call, or,
I know there's some private companies, and I don't know if that's the correct answer. I know there are some private companies that will come out and trap coyotes and things of that nature and remove them. I would look at that side. I don't think our animal control addresses those.
I believe the game warden.
And a game warden, called the game warden.
who is, where do you reach the game warden?
Through the U.S. Forestry Service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
We don't call the city.
Avanti.
You can't call it.
How do you heard the
Yes,
cats?
sir.
Help with the cat thing, is try to convince people to keep on the side. I mean, the cats go on the outside. And or call a trap neuter, replace TNRs, people. There's several out there, they work with, some of the vets, they'll come out and trap the cats, take them, get them neutered, but they'll bring them back. If you don't own the cat, they release it, but what it does, it significantly reduces the population.
Are you on that day or cancel?
Yeah, it does,
I
yeah.
thought he was in the population.
He's about there, he's got other people, there's one, Tobin's, helps, there's about 3 or 4, he's looking up on Facebook.
Right.
Yeah, so there's services out there, and I think the main thing that we really highlighting is we can work together as a community to address some of this also. So, with that, Ms. Moss, I'll pass it back over to you. Well, I know there's, homelessness. Here in Anniston, we do have a homeless shelter, that's in the downtown area. Martha's Hope. Yeah, it's called, Martha's Hope. With that, we have identified, we have had an influx of homeless personnel coming to our area. It's one of those when you look at the surrounding areas like Heflin, Piedmont, things of that nature, no one else has a shelter. I think one of our nearest shelters you're looking at is Birmingham that has a significant size shelter. So once these services were put in here, through different means and causes and things of that nature, the population did grow. We are working with them. We got day programs for them to go to. If you're a business owner and you see you have homeless that's in your area that's causing issues or running away, any type of major issues, call the police. If they're looking for somewhere to go, you can send them to Martha's Hope. They run a program on weekends, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And then there's a day program called The Right Place that's up in the same area there above Zen Park that is Monday through Thursday. So what I've done in the past is when I see someone homeless and they're, passed out on the street or something like that, I'll go up and talk to them and let them know about the services and send them to one of those day programs so they can be there and have somewhere to be. Once they're in these day programs, what they're doing there is they're working with them. They're doing case management to find out what they need. If they need substance abuse treatment, we can send them to that. And it's not out of the Anniston's taxpayers' money. These are federal programs. So they work to try to give them some better opportunities for them. So it's not just where they just go there and lay around and sleep all day or whatever. It's actually active programs. Someone's doing GED classes, different things like that. So if you have a business and that's being done, I would recommend sending them to the day shelter, and that's been beneficial when I walk up and down the streets.
And we were, I just stuttered.
Yeah.
We recently hired an unhoused individual at our police department who's doing janitorial services. So we're actively trying to help individuals. The reality is not everybody wants to get to point B. And that's the reality that we're faced with at this point. And so navigating that has been difficult, balancing what it is to help people, undeserved communities, and also preserving spaces for the public for you all to enjoy. It's an issue that we're dealing with actively right now, but there are success stories.
Yes.
Like the man that is working at our police department who's doing a really good job. I had the opportunity to meet him last week. So there are success stories, and I wanted you guys to know that, initially we thought that building this homeless shelter would solve the problem, but it makes it even more complex. And so we're looking towards more long-term solutions as we move forward. And we have a wonderful team at Martha's Hope who are really in it for the right reasons. And so it may not be fixed now, but we're working towards what that could be in the future.
Let's grab the gentleman about, I know he had a question.
I gotta back you up just a little bit, not on the homeless, but what is the mission of animal control? I hadn't heard a mission statement.
Well, the mission is, we looked at several things. Gentleman over here, I know he was talking about the catch and release. We called it the catch and snip program, where we would pick them up if we didn't have the facilities to house them and have them spayed or neutered and then put back into the area that they were taken from. But we did not go through with that because of the county actually purchasing the larger area. Our main mission is to reduce animals, the stray animals that are in the area. Targeting the aggressive animals first, targeting the specific areas that I discussed earlier, the parks, recreation areas so our youth can be out there and not have to worry about dogs and pets. And then, hopefully, eventually, we can get to the education of pet owners to spay and neuter their dogs and cats and things of that nature to continue to reduce the population down.
Good luck on that.
I know. but that's the ultimate goal, is where they're not out here having to patrol every day picking up, that they can actually go out to events, schools, speak at gatherings about animal control, what they do, things of that nature. Sir?
Yeah, it just sounds like it's a lot of emphasis on dogs, but there are a lot of animals in our community, and I'm hearing without a third party and this kind of thing. Isn't it possible to have a central point of operations, even though you don't do it, but you are the liaisons to make it happen?
As far as what services?
The cats, the coyotes, the possums, all the different animals that we see in our community.
We can't kill them.
Yeah. I'm a hunter, so
I got a problem in my yard. I really don't want to be in the house making about 15 phone calls. I need a point of contact, and then from there.
Right. And I think our best description is if we cover the domestic animals, cats and dogs right now. Once we got such an animal or dog problem, that has to be our main focus right now to get that under control, and then we can look at that. I agree though, with, that's a great idea, having a one stop. Maybe that's something we can add to our website. So you can go to one spot and it'll show you the game warden and anybody else. Thanks, sir. Any other?
Mr. Freed.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about the homeless and the dogs. Police department is right across the street.
Okay, everybody, please.
The police department is right across the park from Zen Park. I go to the YMCA 3 days a week on 14th Street. That's right there by Zen Park. You walk by Zen Park, you drive by Zen Park, and you got a bunch of dogs running loose in that park. And the police station is right there. How can that even be acceptable? That's number one. Number two, when we come about the homeless, the bridge is right behind the YMCA. During weather conditions that are terrible, cold, wet, windy, these people are out in the street because they have to do a cleanup of that facility, and they've got no place to go. And they're sitting on the side of the streets, on various streets, 13th, whatever, getting under some vanity or something, trying to stay warm, trying to stay from getting wet. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
And what you're saying is not wrong, sir, but it's what we're having to deal with right now with the influx. The animal control, I can show you my email on Thursday, I think it was. I got a call from the Y saying that it was a problem, and we put that as a priority for the Y and Zen Park to get the animals cleaned up out of there. But with the homeless, it's a different challenge. And like the mayor said, we're trying to address it.
And it would be depending on, each story is different. Some people are not in the facilities, one, because they have been banned from being there for specific reasons, or because they don't want to utilize the resources. So,
or follow the rules.
Yeah, or follow the rules. So I think it's really subjective based off the person. Our shelter houses about 58 people. Jackson, am I correct on that number? 58 individuals. And so we are currently at capacity. When I say our shelter, I'm referring to Martha's Hope. It's actually not a city shelter. We did use federal funds to help support the shelter and build it to what it is today. But every homeless individual that's out there, they're not just out there because there's not space for them. Sometimes they're out there because they don't want to utilize those resources, or they don't want to follow the rules.
I'm only saying what I say because the guy that does the security for the bridge, he comes and works in the YMCA. And so I sat down and I talked to him one day. I said, why are these people out there on that hill? Why are they all on that hill? It's crazy, it's cold, the weather is nasty. Well, they have to go out because they have to clean the rooms. I said, there's gotta be a better way to handle these people during the time that you have to put them out to clean the rooms.
They have a day room. They have day rooms that they use during the day as well. So maybe that's something we talk to the director of Martha's Hope about. There may be some misinformation there, but if that is an issue, that's
Because I
something.
believe across the street from the bridge, there also is a facility, right, that they can.
That's
go
the
to.
right place.
Is that the right place?
Yes, sir.
And
Well, I
they can go
want-
there. They can go there during the
Yeah,
day.
but, you know, it's just a vision that you see these people out there, they're on 13th Street, they're hiding, they're trying to stay warm, they're trying to stay
That's
cold.
their
The
choice.
problem is we can't make them go to the resources.
I'm not saying it isn't their choice, I'm just saying it doesn't look like we're taking care of
Yeah.
it. That's all, that's all.
I receive it.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I know those were some tough topics, but I hope you know that we are doing everything we can to try to work with partners, figure these things out so we can make improvements. I think the biggest thing with animals and with the unhoused is the demand is greater than what we've got. I know that there's maybe some different policies and things we need to put in place, education that needs to be done. But again, it's a lot to tackle all at once, so we have to take it one step at a time when we're doing this. I appreciate the feedback on all of that because, that's something, like you said, that we may want to talk to the director of Martha's Hope about. It's not an easy thing to tackle by any stretch of the imagination, so we will continue to work with them and to look into that.
The panel discussed economic development. The downtown is looking better, but the McClellan, not so much.
We will get there in just a second.
We talked specifically about what do we expect from the new economic developer.
So,
Yeah, go ahead.
When I talked earlier about the new energy and new, fresh breath of life that the city seems to have now with the new mayor, new council members, and everything. Exactly. Aaron Norris came to us, young gentleman. He graduated Auburn. I don't know if there's Alabama people that don't like that, but he's doing good. He's doing good for being from Auburn. But what we've done is, everybody knows MDA. The property was passed over to the city of Anniston. Once we did that, we had to do the legal process of transferring the deeds over. And I'm happy to say, as of this Friday, we had the clean deeds ready, and they're over at the county getting processed. Since then, the council has been, and the mayor has been working on several different ideas that Aaron has brought forward. We know we got the Summerall project out there with some of the new stores, new buildings. We're looking at bringing in, one of the biggest requests is a sit-down restaurant that's not a Mexican restaurant.
we love Mexican restaurants though.
Yeah, we love them, but looking at some different things that we do not have in the area, maybe even Oxford don't have in the area. So we're looking at growing that. Aaron's doing a great job. He's working with the consultants that we have. So the way I like to explain things is the mayor and the council, they're the thinkers. They're the ones that come up with the ideas, comes up with the plans and everything. And me and the city employees, we implement. So if you got ideas on what you want to see in areas and things of that nature, bring it to your council members and let them know, because they're the ones, as you see if you watch the meetings and things of that nature, they do the discussions, they do what our priorities are, what, they vote on what we're going to bring here, what we're not going to bring here, things of that nature. So if you have ideas, suggestions, things of that nature, that always goes through your council member. As far as the economic development, I agree, we're doing some great stuff downtown on Noble Street and everything. We have Carla Eden, who focuses on the Main Street program down there. She works for Aaron now. With that change, with Aaron, I've built his team up more. So we actually, we're looking at all of Anniston. South Quintard, North Anniston, all of it. It's not one of those where we're focusing on one area and forgetting about the other areas. So it's going to be a city approach, looking at our master plans, updating our plans and everything of that nature, since we have a lot of new people. Yes, sir.
I'm sorry, before you ask this question or say something. For a long time, the city of Anniston was not putting in money for infrastructure for businesses. So we didn't have water, sewer, all those things that make it possible to recruit and boost our economy. We did not have the infrastructure for it. So for over the last, I would say 4 to 5 years, this council has really placed significant money into developing out North Anniston, because North Anniston is really where we grow. It's where we generate revenue that we can place into our neighborhoods, so we can see our roads paved, we can see better lighting in our neighborhoods. But we put about $3 million. We're actually looking at taking a bond out to continue out that infrastructure. We are also looking at a congressional appropriation, which is going to be roughly $6 million to put a water tower out there. So the possibilities out in North Anniston are absolutely limitless. And then especially with those deeds, you know, historically they've always been with the MDA, and prior to that it was the JPA. So now the city of Anniston owns this property, and we have the resources now to develop out. So we're looking at better housing, better entertainment areas, areas for you to stay, lodging, places for you to eat, places for you to shop. And while Oxford's local economy does help support ours, we want you to shop in Anniston. So we've got to be able to provide a space for you to do that. And I believe that we have the makings to make that happen now.
I think that's a, thank you, Mayor. I think that's a good segue into what,
He had a question.
oh, sorry.
Yes, my question is very simple. I've heard a lot of people come up and say that we've had this problem here in this town, we've had this problem in this part of town. And they all aim them at you. What I think is funny is, we're Annistonians. It's our job to do our own, try to get businesses in here. And it is our job. One of my favorite arguments I have had in this council, but it deals with education. And it deals with book reading. I love how we've talked about, well, we need to do corrections here, corrections there. The corrections need to start in our home. And it's not just us. It's not just you guys. It's everybody. I came up and I talked to you, Mr. Freed, just a little while ago. We all know the Clef's Farm Nobles right now. And I love that place. That's one of my favorites. But we have a big gaping hole in the middle of our town because of it. We can come up and talk to Carl Eden to the day of home. We can talk to every city official in the world. Everybody, guys, you guys have been in this town longer than I have. You need to tell me you don't know a restaurant owner that doesn't think about working in downtown Anniston? Why aren't we not bringing it up? Why are we not bringing up, hey, an educational idea or an educational grant? Don't get me wrong. I love the city of Anniston, and I love our teachers. But we also need to help our children. We need to help get them better. You want to improve Anniston? Improve the education. And improve getting better restaurant service by including your own self in this.
Thank you. So now, as I had mentioned before, I'd like to know what you all would like to see developed in Ward 4 specifically, and then in Anniston, because Mr. Norris, our new economic developer and city planner, has been asking us. But I want to ask you, because he's interested in what the residents want to see, so that he can go and target those businesses, those restaurants, whatever that is. He doesn't want to just go get something to get something. He wants to make sure it's what we all want here. So I'd like to hear your feedback and let me know whether it's specific for Ward 4 or Anniston in general. Because anywhere you do something is going to help and affect the rest of Anniston. So,
I have a question here.
yes.
Changing the subject a little bit, I hadn't heard about anything about the paving program, filling pothole program, and a big dip in Greenbrier Road.
Work order for those. Hopefully you've seen one of the biggest issues we had, which was for Ward 4 over on Coleman Road as you go towards 431 there and Ramon Avenue. That was a very rough area, and thanks to David and his guys, they got that done. Even the fire department thanked us for that because it was pretty rough on their trucks as well. So for any roads, you can do a work order, you can reach out to me. We are working on, as Mr. Free had said before, a few years ago, they did a road study. So we're taking that road study with this organization, and they are telling us and giving us the top roads that need to be done first, based on traffic counts, based on how many houses are there, or churches or schools or whatever it is. Because if you've got a road that's got 2 houses, and you've got a road that's got 50 houses and a church and something else, you know that's going to be a priority road. But they're helping us to determine what those are. So we are working on that process so that we can have a rollout plan so you will know what roads will be done when. So that is something we are currently working on, and it is a very important thing to all of us on the council that that gets done.
Do you have an idea when that will be ready?
Okay, so, yes. So we are working on a 5 to 7 year plan. We've recently, no you won't, hopefully you won't. Hopefully you won't. Now that doesn't mean, when I say 5 to 7 year plan, our goal is to have these roads, all of the roads addressed within 5 to 7 years. It doesn't mean we're gonna wait 5 to 7 years to actually start doing the roads. The problem is we don't have enough funding as is in our general budget to address as many roads that need to be addressed in the city of Anniston. We have 250 miles worth of roads, and when the robotics assessment was done back in 2020, majority of our roads were in 4 and 5, and 4 and 5 were the worst conditions. So what this council is focusing on is possibly taking out a bond of a significant amount of money to make a huge impact into our road paving and infrastructure. With the assessment that we're doing with GMC, which is our engineering consultant, we're looking after we get through doing this $10 million bond and addressing all these roads, what can we place in our budget, whether it's $300,000 or $500,000 each year to put into road paving. So for 5 to 7 years, you're gonna see constant road paving done within the city of Anniston. But we have not solidified our bond yet. We've not solidified this plan. The first step was us engaging with GMC, and that's where we are right now.
The reason I ask, keep hearing about the bicycle trail. And it's a good project, it should be over, but I keep hearing, well, let's build some buildings on the bicycle trail. I don't hear anything talking about paving the roads and stuff like that. I doubt that many people in here use a bicycle trail, but we use a city road.
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I've talked to you several times. One of them is Raymond Avenue.
Yes, sir.
I've talked about the safety of that road and how come we can't do something about that particular flow of traffic. Some ideas to limit that to some degree, because that particular road was not designed to be a county road. That was originally a subdivision road, and now it is now a bypass to the bypass.
Yes, sir.
From my house, and at 2 times of the day, I get probably a 50, 60, maybe even 100 cars that go by my house, which terminates at Coleman, which backs up
Yes, sir.
Raymond, and you can't get out onto Coleman, please turn to the left, and then of course the other end being the fire station.
Yes.
Why doesn't there is some effort to use the available roadway, which is Henry Road, go down to the bypass, and if you're gonna take Coleman Road, go down to the bypass, then take a right at the Chevron station, and go that way instead of going down Raymond Avenue.
Yes, sir.
At a very high rate of speed, by the way, 50 to
Yes.
60 miles an hour. It's a highway.
Yes, sir.
That needs to be addressed.
It actually is, we have been doing that, and Sain and Associates just did a speed count out there to see what the average speed was, which I believe they told us, 43 miles per hour. We were looking at traffic calming devices to put in, and I know that right now that David's group and the engineer are getting quotes on how we can do that. You have to understand too that that was unfortunately a byproduct of getting 431 through there. So people do that. So we are looking at that and trying to find a way to slow people down as well as to make it a safer road. But David, if you want to address anything from your side.
So what this evaluation did is it did more than just speed. It did a traffic count. It did a speed assessment, both high and low. And it gave us recommendations on what to do to limit that speed. At Mr. Free's direction from Ms. Moss and the council, we did that. That cost about $6,000, just to let you know what a traffic count and what a study on the road costs. We have those recommendations back, and through our engineering team, we're going through those recommendations, evaluating them, and then we're going to present that to Mr. Free, who's going to present that to the council as our recommendation. Obviously not the direction, it's just our recommendation from our professional standpoint of what we need to go and how much it's gonna cost. So we're not dealing with what ifs anymore, right? These are hard facts. They're getting exactly what the facts are. They're getting exactly what the facts are to fix it, and it's from a third party. So your concerns are being addressed at this time, again, due to this council, like we've said before, they're actually being proactive and being out into the community. So that's thanks to them.
Well, we can't even cross the street and get your mail off without getting, or putting yourself into a situation of extreme danger because of the speed of the cars that are coming around that particular curve, next to my house at 119. You can't see around the curve. The individual that lived across the street from me, who has since passed away, he even put rocks and so forth, barricades up because just in case someone that came around that curve did not like the curve, they would go right into his house.
Yes, sir.
So that was done. And I understand what you've done, sir, and I appreciate that amount that has been spent. But I will tell you, the speed, 43 miles an hour, that's a very conservative estimate.
And that's just on average, so. But we are addressing that and we'll have more details.
I can't even see that as being average. It's 30 miles per hour.
Yes, sir.
And
I'm gonna apologize to this gentleman because I am one of those people that I am probably the one that ran the average up to 53. But I'm gonna tell you why. Because if I have to go to Publix at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock in the morning or at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I am taking my life in my hands if I try to merge from Henry to Line. So your street is saving lives.
How could you possibly say that it's safe?
All right. Yes, sir, I understand. We can talk more afterwards, but because I've been working on this with a few weeks with you. So let's move on to other people that have other topics to discuss. Yes, sir.
Don't understand me, I had aspiration from COVID, so when I came home, the first time I'm doing, I'm gonna tell you a couple of things. I didn't vote for you, but if I could, I would have.
He doesn't live in the city.
She doesn't need to tell, they're very friendly. But, I had a good, my sister named Julie, and you're good looking, and Sierra's good looking. Y'all bring a good thing to the city. Well, what about me?
I was gonna say,
Hey! This facility, he raised me, and, so,
I'm not a speaker. So, and this is just for you. So anyway, he raised me, he even took a belt to me. But when I got ready, Ms. Robinson just left, when Norwood quit city council as mayor, he was appointed, and then there's election, and I ran against Bill Robinson, and I got beat. But I went to Norwood, and I asked Norwood, I said, will you support me? What can you do for me? He told me three things. He said, Will, help the city in any way you can. Don't let any of this affect your life, your health, or your family. And I appreciate you doing it. I think you're doing great just to step out and do it, but don't. That's not. All right, number one. 2 years ago, we had a lady move in from Naples, Florida, and this is out in the county. And after quite a while, she came and said, "You know, this community, I feel nice. It's nice, but I feel safe." 6 months ago, I met a couple, which she was a retired police officer, and he's an FBI guy from Dallas, Texas. They moved here. And I asked them why, and they said, we looked around, and the area has a lot to offer, but the crime and that is what brought us here. So what I'm saying to you, pave all those streets, pave our walking track that I walk on every day, but make sure that for all you do for this year and 4 years and 10 years, make sure that our fire and our policemen are the highest paid and got most things to work with, and nothing else matters. That's recruiting in itself right there on that. And second thing you were talking about Fort Clinton, I agree. I was on the plan commission for about 16 years, and we tried to get people to annex sites and all that. Nobody's going to come and ask, Then we got Fort Clinton, it was a blessing. A lot of people said we're going to go broke and all that, which we got through it. I like what y'all were saying over here, what you're trying to do, because the potential out there is unreal. And being on the thing, I'm not big on too much restriction, but make sure that we develop a plan, because there's just too much possibilities out there, and you got companies will come in and give you something just so they can put something somewhere, and then it ruins everything else, because you know what can happen out there. Third thing is water. People don't realize Anniston probably would not even be on the map if it wasn't for cold water spring. It's our biggest, to me, one of our biggest assets that we have. And of course, they sell all over. They sell Cheehaw, they sell to Georgia, and all that. We were in the bottled water business, and I bought spring water from them. And at that time, the city council, I think, had 3 appointees. Since then, I was on for 16 years on the Water Authority in Calhoun County. And what I've seen that's happening is regulations are causing problems. There's so many water authorities around that are barely hanging on. And ADM is pushing that, but they're pushing larger companies to take over larger companies. So if someone's ever said in your tenure that you see somebody or ADM trying to push something down your throat to make us merge with somebody like Birmingham that's all screwed up, I'm going to say, look out for that. Don't let that ever happen, because we got the best asset here. And the fourth thing is, over the years I've been Emory, available.
I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that everybody has an opportunity, so you can talk to me afterwards and let me know.
And I quit. When I was on the plan commission, I know I saw at least 5 or 6 businesses leave Anniston because we would have a meeting and couldn't give them an answer, and they go down the option. And that's the people won't go, I believe it. So I like what you're doing, and I like what you're doing. Almost always let, but most people won't go up.
Well, as far as doing business in Anniston, that was one of the things that I campaigned on. That's why we have the roads we have. That's why we have some of the issues we have. We don't have the tax dollars. So Mr. Free is very aware of that, and we are focusing on that internally with how we're doing things. As far as I'm concerned, the word no does not belong in City Hall. And we continue to say, you know, we may not know, but we need to figure out the solution and work with everybody. So we will continue to do that so that we can bring businesses back into Anniston, because we need to be open in Anniston. And then some of these things that we have concerns with that we haven't spent any money on, we will have the money to do so. So let me try to get somebody in the back here.
Can I
that
chime in on
hasn't
two
spoken.
things?
Yeah.
Just like Ms. Small said, we say now the philosophy for all my employees is, how do we get to yes? You might not like how we get there because you might have to go through step A, B, C, but it's not a no and just we walk away. Second part, highlight what the gentleman brought up about the police department. About 3 years ago, we were 20 officers short. I'm happy to report we are 1 officer short now.
I'm sorry?
How many do we have?
How many officers?
94 is full, we're at 93.
So yeah, so that is something positive as well. Yes, sir, back there.
Yes, how y'all doing? Michael, Tanya Bruce. We moved here 2 years ago, and we moved here, almost 2 years ago. As we were, as the move was taking place, it was during the time that you all were running for different positions. And I just want to point this out. We didn't know anybody from out, so we read something that you had put out. And you put it in our mailbox, so we came to our house.
At the door knocker.
So, I mean, we moved here, we just trying to find out different places, different things. But everybody told us, don't go to the hospital here. Everybody told us that. But something that you wrote in there that was so touching, that you were gonna work with a new headman, a head person down that way. But make a long story short, I voted for you because she put the information out. And, I think you're doing a great job.
Thank you. And we are working on healthcare. That has been a priority for us. I don't know where the mayor went.
She had to step out.
Oh, she stepped out. So anyway, I did campaign on that, and that is something that we have all been working on very, very diligently. So we hope to be able to share some of that shortly, but it is not far from all of our minds. And the healthcare in this community needs to come back strong. It has been what Anniston has been known for. And so that's just, again, one of many things that we are tackling. And these are all big issues, and they take a lot of discussion, a lot of due diligence, a lot of questions, and getting answers and information so that we can make the best decision for this community. Because I have always said, if I do my due diligence, I have asked the questions, and I vote what is best for this community, I can put my head down and sleep. I'm not going to make everybody happy. There's no way to do that. But that is my commitment. Yes, sir.
The previous administration talked about sidewalks, especially in this Golden Springs area. If you talk about an area from the Walgreens going east, there's no sidewalks there, okay? Some people walk or bike, there's no sidewalks. I saw a survey team, the previous administration, that were doing surveys in that area there, going northeast, going to the east, all right, towards the Armorville. Okay, now, is the sidewalk issue still alive?
Actually, I probably have the most information on that.
Oh, I'm sure you got it all.
But,
you or her.
But, actually, that was, in progress with the last, council person.
Yes.
And to be honest with you, it never got funded. Went through the process, they never allocated the funds, and it never got done. Just point one.
There's a not federal grant, somebody want for it. You know what I mean?
I got it.
It's
It's a dead issue?
It's only dead if they say it's dead. That's not me.
Yeah, the council's the one that votes on the funding and everything, and if they tell us it's funded, we do it.
And you gotta remember, with us coming in new, we don't have all the background and information of stuff that was being
Don't
worked
get me
on,
wrong, I know
so.
y'all are new and you're picking up the trash
Yeah.
from the last administration, and you gotta start anew. But as long as you keep the public informed.
Yeah. And you can continue to follow me on Facebook. I post what I'm doing, what I'm involved in, what's happening. Of course, Jackson with the city, he does a great job of letting you know everything that's going on here. So please, Julie Moss for Anniston Ward 4. So, follow me there. I post constantly of things that I participate in, what we're doing, highlighting all the good stuff. So that is a good way to keep up with Ward 4 stuff specifically, but if you want to know all city too, of course, I repost a lot of Jackson's because it's good information.
Hard to replace him, and he gets voted in.
Curtis, did you have a question back there?
Yeah, that was a great transition to my question. Is there somewhere where we can see a list of approved projects, unfunded projects, and projects that's going, to be looked at? I mean, how do we know if a project that we're concerned about or we want to bring forward, it could already be in the works? Is there somewhere where we can see these projects and match these projects to the budget?
Yes, sir. Let me hit you with that one real quick. This budget was not passed by this council or this city manager. So for that to happen, this council, this city manager would have to go through the capital projects and then make that the budget itself is public on our website. But to make a breakdown, a specific breakdown, this council and this city manager would have to go through and actually go through the capital funding piece by piece, right?
Small follow-up. So if you get government funds that are allocated for 4 or 5 years, those projects go across whatever council that you have.
Correct, but this.
Those projects, are they listed somewhere?
This council and this city manager would have to direct the finance department to come up with that specific information and have Jackson make a specific web page for it. That information doesn't exist because this council and this city manager hasn't done it yet.
But that's a great idea, so I'll put that down.
It's never been asked.
Good idea.
John?
One question that I keep hearing, one thing that I think that we need to capitalize on is one, we know what's good for city events. I mean, we got one of our favorite coffee people there all the time. We have a great coffee. But we also have a sandwich shop that's in the middle of downtown Anniston. #1 rated in the state of Alabama, and number 15 in the state, in the country. That is a selling point. Among the other companies I'm looking at, and I keep this kind of under the wrap right now. But why don't we capitalize on our #1s when we can? We have, like I said, Costa Noble is a big wide open spot. I can think of a couple good #1s we can get in there. Nice coffee shop, I think we can start selling points here. I think we need to start capitalizing when we can.
Thank you very much. We are getting close to time. I did pass out those sheets, so feel free to fill those out now, take them home. You can bring them back to this community center or to City Hall, and I will get those. I'll review them, then of course pass them along to Mr. Free and to the mayor to review. You should have my business card. Again, it's got my mobile number. You can call me, you can text me, you can email me. As this gentleman knows, I get back pretty quick with people on things, so, and staying up to date on it.
You may want to tell the ones that came in late to sign in the sign-in sheet.
Oh, yes, and if you haven't signed into the sign-in sheet, if you would. I would like to close with just giving some events information. Thank you, Jackson, for passing this along. March 6th is the State of the County, which is hosted by the Calhoun County Chamber of Commerce, and that is held at Gadsden State Community College. On March 14th at 12 p.m. is the Main Street Anniston Shamrock 5K. March 21st, you got 5 5-versus-5 soccer tournaments at the Anniston Sports Complex. That's ages 7 through adult. So everybody get out their good soccer shoes and get ready. April 1 is the final citywide, correct me if I'm wrong, David, citywide sweep of loose leaf pickup. All loose leaves should be placed at the curb by this date. And if you have neighbors that park their cars in the street and it needs to be picked up, please talk to them so they'll move their vehicles so that can be done. April 4th at 9 a.m. is the Mayor's Ride, starting at Wiggs Wheels along the Chief Ladiga Trail and culminating with a pump track ribbon cutting at 11. April 11th is the annual Noble Street Festival, which is a pretty big festival that we have every year, so mark your calendar and come down for that. And then April 18th from 1 to 4, we've got a free STEM camp at the Anniston Meeting Center for kids. STEM is a great area for us to get our kids invested in. Grandkids, friends, neighbors, kids, whomever, to go to the camp. May 9th, in partnership with the National Park Service, an all-day celebration recognizing the 65th anniversary of the Freedom Riders. And there will be additional information, so please be looking for that. And lastly, for now, June 27th is the annual Anniston Heritage Festival celebrating Juneteenth. And Jackson, was this 45th year that this has been going on? 24th. I get 45. Well,
Our other half.
got a lot of numbers in my head. There we go. And I encourage you to please come to the city meetings. Jackson does have them live so you can watch them. And come to the work session. The work session is actually where we spend the most time discussing projects and discussing things that are going on, whereas the formal meeting is more taking the votes, if you will. So I encourage you to come out there. If you have concerns, you need stuff done, Avanti, I'm telling you. She is amazing. I should have had her here today so you all could meet her.
Hashtag Avanti needs a raise.
Yes, sir, do you have a...
Yes. I want to make an acknowledgement and a praise. Ms. Moss is a very terrific representative. When we first opened up, Ms. Moss was the first person there. She has supported us like no other. We very appreciate it. Y'all got a very good representative.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate everybody coming out today. I'm sorry, Reba.
Julie, this is the most progressive city council that we've had in years. And I am so proud that you're on it.
Thank you. Yeah.
Short compliment. Highland Cemetery, the rock wall that had fell down, it has been almost totally repaired. It may be complete now. Thank you, Louis.
Yes.
I brought this up to Louis Downing.
And he called us and we were on it the next day.
And that's what we're trying to do is when we get calls is to get on things as quickly as possible so you all can see that we are listening. We do hear you. And we are doing things as fast and as quickly as we can. So again, Mr. Freed would like to say something, but just on behalf of me, thank you so much for coming out and participating. I appreciate it more than you know.
Only thing I wanted to highlight before everybody leaves, who's been to the museum in the last year? That's very impressive. If you hadn't, please go check out our museum. They've done some amazing changes out there. I used to take my kids there, several times a year as they were growing up. Hadn't been out there probably in about 4 years, and I went out there in the Berman Museum. They rearranged it, really impressive. So, go out there, take the family out there. It's a great day experience.
Thank you.